Yes, I know that your current situation it's terrible, that you have no money. And that you and your family are hungry, and this anguish does not let you sleep or to be at peace, and I know that you feel that there is no way to change it, and you feel sad, anguished, depressed, desperate, with fear, failed and without hope. But still, you have to get up and move forward. Yes, you can. You have to. But if you want to cry, then cry. If you want to laugh, even despite your current situation, laugh. If you feel like to scream, find a place alone and scream. Do not stay with the desire to do what you feel. Release the tension that you have within yourself. This will help you to feel better and to clear your mind, so that you will be able to find the solution. We have been blessed with the 4 tools that we need to attract and achieve everything that we desire. Our brain, mind, thoughts, imagination and our subconscious. Our heart, feelings and emotions. Our body, movement, energy and creation. Energy. The energy that we take from the universe, and the energy that we ourselves generates. Any form of life can achieve it, if it really wants to. Whoever that truly has the absolute desire to live, then will get everything that he wants. It is the obligation and the duty of the universe to grant it. Life is energy. Use it. Our brain and our body have energy. Everything in the universe has energy. Feel your subconscious. Feel your subconscious. Use your subconscious, consciously. The neck is one of the most powerful power points that we have. You have to learn how to use it. Because only an orderly, balanced, organized, prudent, consistent, coherent, practical, structured, rational, logical, sensible, eloquent, calm, successful, open, strong, positive, consistent, pragmatic, objective, clear, wise, intelligent, powerful and consistent mind can achieve everything. The biggest problem that most people have, it's that they don't really realize what it's exactly what they are thinking and what that their thoughts are. But how can we align our mind, thoughts, body, feelings, emotions, and energy? You have to be congruent and coherent with your thoughts and your feelings. To boost your desire in a single direction, you have to understand and accept that God it's not going to move a single finger for you. Not even one. Do not expect that what you want, God it's going to give it to you. Nothing is going to come from heaven. You are the one who has everything that you need to attract and achieve everything that you want. Everything. With your powerful mind and heart. You have everything you need within you. Do not trust God. Never trust God. Never. Trust that everything will be fine. Thought that everything will be fine. Feel that everything will be fine. Be sure that everything will be okay. Trust that everything will be all right. Have faith always, always have faith in the universe and in yourself. Always. The more worthy that you feel, the faster you will receive everything that you want. Everything. If you are working or you are anywhere, and suddenly you feel and want to be in another place like Cancun, Las Vegas, or Europe, enjoying good food and drinks. Keep that desire alive, do not forget it. But the problem is that you feel that it's impossible for you, that you do not deserve it, and that you are not worthy to be there. Because you feel that you don't deserve to be there, enjoying life. You feel that first, you have to work a lot to be able to achieve it, and that is the condition that you yourself are putting to your desire. But, are you worthy to be happy and a millionaire? Almost all the people feel and think that they are not worthy of being happy and millionaires. But why? Why do you think you are not worthy of being happy and a millionaire? Why? You must be very careful with what you are going to think and say, of the reasons why do you believe that you are not worthy of being happy and a millionaire, because those will be your conditions to limit your desires. Let me tell you that of course, that you are completely and absolutely worthy to live life with joy and happiness. Of being happy. You have to know that the rich people are not worthier than you. But you have to stop putting limits and conditions to yourself. You have to stop believing that you are not worthy. Because you are, you really are. And you have to start believing and feeling that you are worthy. Because you are. You really are. Many believe that they have to earn the right to be happy after having worked hard all of their lives, but that is not true. You are worthy of having everything that you want to be happy. Everything. You have to repeat to yourself, yes, I am worthy. You have to believe that you are worthy. You have to feel that you are worthy to be happy. You have to know that you are worthy of being happy. But you have to repeat this to yourself many times a day, because you are truly worthy of being happy. You really are. If you want to be happy, then you have to stop thinking and worrying about other people's problems, and it's not being selfish. Because you have your own problems, but if you add other people's problems to your life, then you will never be happy. You and your family have to be first. Never take the problems of others into your house. You can't save all the world. You have to save your family and yourself. Always think, I don't know how, but I always get what I want. Why does the poor get poorer and the rich gets richer? The reason why the poor gets poorer and the rich gets richer is, in fact, there is not only one reason. There are several reasons. One of the most important is, without a doubt, the area and the zone in which we are born, live and develop, has a huge influence on our life. Because we adopt the customs, thoughts, attitudes and beliefs from others. If you grow in a poor area, even if you don't want it, you will adopt many of the customs, ways of thinking, beliefs and attitudes of others. But being in a poor area, you will adopt the deficiencies, conformisms, limits, impotence, violence, alcoholism, poverty, laziness, ignorance, jealousy and bad habits, which will undoubtedly will influence your life. And when you see that all the people around you are poor and conformist, you will believe that you have to be like them. But if you develop in a rich and wealthy zone or area, you will also adopt the beliefs and attitudes of that area, since you see them every day. But there are beliefs and attitudes of success, power, winning, success and to being able to achieve everything that you want to achieve. And that there are no limits. Even in rich areas, if someone has a very good idea, they support each other to start that business, while in poor areas, they drag down those who want to improve themselves and to get ahead. Many people do not try to overcome and improve their current situation, because they believe that it's where they have to live. But it's there where you have to live. Maybe that's where you were born, but that doesn't mean that's where you have to live forever. Even more, if it is a place that you hate, and that you don't like, you have to find a way to improve your life. Always. Even more, if you do not like that place. No one is guilty for being born poor. But you are guilty for dying poor. Also, the rich and wealthy people are not to blame for being born like that, for being born rich and wealthy. Poor people only focus and concentrate on being rich and what they are going to buy and do with that money. But they never concentrate, plan or think on how they are going to achieve it. While rich people also think about wealth, but they focus and concentrate, first, on how they are going to achieve it, and then on how they are going to spend it and enjoying. Another very important reason is because of the way that they handle the stress. Rich and wealthy people have a very good way to deal with the stress of any situation. By facing the problem, and resolving it, and if they are not capable to solve the problems by themselves, they seek help until they fix and overcome the problem. Also because they accept the responsibility of their acts and their mistakes, and this makes them more courageous, and they value themselves more. While the poor people doesn't know how to deal with the stress. And they look for ways to forget their problems, like alcohol and violence, to deal with their stress. The poor people look for ways to forget their problems, like alcohol, violence and drugs, instead of facing and solving their own problems. Another reason it's because for the ambition, confidence and attitude of success that they have in themselves, while rich people have a great ambition, a huge confidence on themselves and a great winning and successful attitude, and that makes them feel that they are capable to achieve everything that they want. Absolutely everything. Everything. Poor people do not think about the future, they do not have ambitions or plans. They live every day, only with what they have. Because they do not believe that they are capable of achieving their dreams, and also because they are very conformist and that they are not willing to do what it takes to achieve all that they want. Rich and wealthiest families always buy everything that they sons and daughters wants. And that forms on their sons and daughters the belief that nothing is impossible. That they, truly, can have everything that they want. But in poor and miserable areas, people looks always for excuses to not buy what their sons and daughters ask for. They prefer to spend that money on beers and alcohol. And they sow it in front of their sons and daughters. And this creates on the sons and daughters a terrible feeling of impotence, hate, poverty, and that they can't achieve and receive what they want. And this will affect them all of their life. Another reason is that the rich and wealthy people focus, concentrates, and appreciate for the good things that they already have. And that motivates them to work for what they still don't have yet, but that they want to achieve. Poor people only focus on what they do not have, rather than on what they do have. And they see the wealth of others with envy, suspicion, and hatred, and they think that they have to work and study a lot to achieve that wealth. And that makes them lazy, and they seek wealth in an easier way, but in dangerous and illegal ways. They have the absurd and stupid idea that by stealing and to doing bad things, and to be in the drugs business, that they are going to become rich, millionaire, wealthy, and powerful. And that it's so stupid. A success attitude, a winning attitude, is all that you need to succeed and to achieve everything that you want. Absolutely everything. Because the attitude of success and winning attracts very, very powerful forces and energies from the universe to you, into your life. But you have to be very brave, very intelligent, very strong and determined to be able to be rich and a millionaire. If you ask a millionaire, what do they do to be like that? He will tell you that you have to work a lot. But you will say to yourself that you get up before dawn and work a lot until nightfall, and even so, you do not have enough money, and that you can't buy anything. Perhaps many of the millionaires do not even know how they achieve their huge fortunes. Or maybe many of them do not want to tell us how do they achieve their fortunes. Or maybe they don't really knows. Maybe many of them do not want to share the secret of their success. Or maybe they really don't know how they did it. But something that every millionaire and wealthy people has, it's that energy, that stamina, that attitude, that ambition, and that huge confidence in themselves. And that attracts powerful forces and energies from the universe. Have you heard the saying of, the poor is poor because he wants to? But it's not like that. Should be. The poor is poor because he does not want to be rich. The poor is poor because he does not want to do what is necessary to be wealthy. They don't want to study. They don't want to learn. They don't want to start a new business. They don't want to do what it takes to be rich. God is a force. To be and to have. God, it's not a physical being. I know that you have heard and read that God created everything in 7 days. But that is not possible, since no being can control the great and powerful force of life and creation. That mighty force that created everything and everyone. That mighty and holy force that creates you, me, God, and everything. That powerful and wonderful force that moves throughout the universe and throughout ourselves. Even the Catholic religion and the Bible speak a lot about her and the respect and power they have, but they call her the Holy Spirit, as the Bible says on several occasions. Matthew 12:31. That is why I tell you, all the sins and blasphemy will be forgiven to men, but blasphemy against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven. Marcus 3:28-30. Truly I tell you that all sins will be forgiven to the sons of men, and the blasphemies with which they blaspheme, but whoever blasphemes against the Holy Spirit will never be forgive, and it will be guilty of eternal sin. Because they said, he has a filthy spirit. Lucas 12:10. And everyone who says a word against the Son of Man will be forgiven. But whoever blasphemes against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven. Hebrews 10:29. How much greater punishment do you think will deserve the one who has trampled under his feet at the Son of God, and has considered unclean the blood of the covenant, by which he was sanctified, and has outraged the Spirit of grace? Marcus 3:28-29. Truly I tell you that all the sins will be forgiven to the children of men, and the blasphemies with which they blaspheme, but whoever blasphemes against the Holy Spirit, will be never be forgive, because it is guilty for eternal sin. This is how powerful, important and extraordinary the force of the Holy Spirit is. God is part of this monumental force of life and creation. Just like you and me. That powerful and wonderful force that moves throughout the universe, and through ourselves. That force, so great and powerful, that it is not possible to control by a single being. That force that creates and destroys, that gives life and takes it away, that generates so much energy, creation and movement. That wonderful and powerful force that gives life, to every living creature. And it's to that powerful force that we have to attach and use, to be able to attract everything that we want. That powerful and wonderful force that moves throughout the universe and through ourselves, like a current of energy, light and force. The Holy Spirit is the great and powerful force of creation and life. Let yourself be carried away by the force of life and creation. Don't fight her. Use it. Seize it. Move with that wonderful energy. Why do we have the need to invent divine beings and superheroes? Why don't we understand that we are divine beings of light and energy, but with a physical body? And that we can become divine, beautiful and powerful beings. Don't think about losing. Think about winning. Always think about winning. Always. Know yourself. Believe in yourself. Trust only in yourself. Understand yourself. Because only with yourself, you will be all your life. Only with you. The only person that you can always, always count on. It's you. Only you. You are yourself. Just yourself. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Never. Do not be weak. Do not be a coward. Don't be lazy. Don't be pathetic. Do not be ignorant. Do not be shy. Don't be scared. Never feel less than others. Never feel sorry for yourself. Never. Because you are a magnificent and powerful being. Your clothes, your car, your house, your appearance, it's not really what you are inside you. It is not the power that you have within yourself. Even if you wear worn clothes, or dress as you dress, you could be better than the others. Confidence within yourself, it's the strength and energy that you need to achieve all of your dreams. All of them. Repeat to yourself. Yes, I'm ugly, but I'm better than you. Yes, I'm fat, but I'm better than you. Yes, I'm shorty, but I'm better than you. Yes, I'm skinny, but I'm better than you. Yes, I didn't finish college, but I'm better than you. And repeat it many times on your day-to-day. If you want to be strong and to achieve all of your goals, wealth and power. Do not expect or seek, or need the approval or empathy or the pity from others. Not even the acceptance of others. You have to be strong. You have to be courageous. Do not care about others, only you and your family. Because self-confidence, it's the only thing that will give you all that you want. Because self-confidence can move mountains. Be firm, brave, strong, intelligent and determined in your dreams and in your goals. Always. Do not care about the consequences. Do not hesitate. To be and to have. Let's say that you have a lot of problems, and that you are looking into the sky, and to the stars, and you think, if I lived on another planet, I'm sure that I would have a better life than the one that I have right now. That I'm sure that the beings that live in another planets have a better life than mine. That I'm sure that if I can be transported to that world, my life surely will be better. But what if, even if you can travel to that planet, what if even so, you will still have that same terrible life that you have? What if, even if you are wherever you are, you will still having the same life? Wherever that you are. What if, it doesn't matter where you are? That wherever you are, you will still have the same problems and the same bad luck. What if you are the problem? What if, that wherever that you are, you're still are the problem? What if, that you carry the problems and the bad luck within yourself? Maybe what you have to do, it's to change the life that you have. And with that, it will doesn't matter where you are, you will be happy. That you have to change yourself, first. That first, you have to change yourself. And then, you can be happy, everywhere that you are. Because you are the problem, and also you are the solution. Been happy. It's a necessity, to every living creature. Even in the great Constitution of the United States, said that everyone has the right to be happy. Been happy, it's a necessity and a right to every living creature. But, what do you need to be happy? And, what do you want to be happy? Every living creature has the right to live happily. Maybe it's a universal right for all the living creatures, to be happy. To have a happy life. Because life it's truly a miracle, and life, it's not abundant in the universe, truly life it's something that it's something, extremely special. And perhaps, first, to be happy, we have the right to have the gender and the body that we wants. Maybe that will be the first thing that we need, to be happy. To have the gender and the body that we want. Because our own body, it's the most important thing. We have the right to transform our body, to have the gender and the body that we want. It doesn't matter the gender that we have since birth. That's why, first, we should have the gender and the body that we want. To achieve a happy and a full life. Truly I tell you, that every day, it's a miracle and an opportunity. Truly I tell you, that life, it's a blessing. Truly I tell you, that life, it's something, extremely precious. And that's why we have to learn how to be happy. What are those lapses, glimpses or moments of immense joy, that we sometimes feel? We have felt them at one or several times on our life. Even though, it's no reason to feel them. Since our situation it's so terrible. But even so, sometimes we still feel them. That is the immense force and power, of faith and hope. It is like when you have lapses and glimpses of immense joy, but that you think, how is it possible that I feel like this, if I have so many problems and my economic situation it's so terrible? Why? But why do you feel like this, since your current situation it's so terrible, why do you feel like this, with that immense joy? And yes, you are right, those lapses of immense joy, are a gift from the universe. Those lapses of that immense joy, it's not for the terrible moments that you are now. That immense joy it's for the future and great moments that you will have. It's for the future joy that you will have. If you accept them. But you repress them, bury them and eliminate them from your life. Because you think that, how can you have this immense moments of joy? If you don't have money, even to eat. And you and your family are hungry. They are powerful glimpses of faith and hope. They are lapses of joy, for all the good things, that are going to happen. If you accept them. They are not present lapses of joy, they are glimpses of joy for the future, for what is going to happen, for what it's coming to your life, for what it's going to be. If you accept them. Do not reject them, do not suppress them, do not kill them, do not bury them. Because it's like if you are burying your own happiness. Embrace them, accept them, let them enter into your life, let them enter your house. Let them live in you. Do not reject them. Those beautiful lapses and flashes of immense joy, faith and hope, that we don't know where they come from, they're a gift from the universe. Pure. True. Untouchable. Unchangeable. Accept them, do not reject them, let them be with you. Let them be a part of you. Let them be your counterweight, when you feel hopeless, angry and sad. For what it's going to happen, for what it's going to be, for what it's coming into your life. But what it's the meaning of life? It's to live. Life it's a miracle. But, yes, I know, that life is not the same for everyone. Living, it's not the same to everybody. That really the vast majority of us, we have born, growth and live in very difficult economic situations. But that there are people who, since they are born, they do it surrounded by wealth, abundance and so much luxuries, and that they have an easy and wonderful life. But why? Why it's life not the same for everyone? If life it's truly a miracle. For all of us. Why don't we, all have the same opportunities and circumstances? Why only so few people can live an easy and wonderful life, full of wealth, richness, good food, beautiful houses, luxuries and everything that they desire? When they want it. Why? If we are all human and alive. Why? And even if I told you that by the simple fact of being alive, we deserve and are worth living happily, the truth is that I do not know why. Maybe fate does exist. Maybe good luck does exist. Maybe someone else decides the life that we have. But I really don't know. Because if we all lived poor, then perhaps it would be easier to understand, since we would all are the same. But we see everyday people who live an incredible and happy life, full of luxuries and wealth. But we see our life, and that of the majority, and we see so many deficiencies, so much problems, so much hard work, so much exploitation and so much poverty, and we ask ourselves, why aren't we all the same? Why? There are people who live so well, happy and joyful, and I don't live like that. Why? And after seeing so many thousands of millions of people who live in poverty, but that we see the terrible and brutal gap between the rich and the poor. And without a doubt we wonder, why? Could it be because of the fate? Could it be because of the good or bad luck? Could it be for a divine design? Could it be because we are not worthy? Could it be that we have not a chance to get out of poverty? No matter what do we do. But truly, I do not know. Perhaps our lives are destined to poverty, failure and shortage. I don't know. And perhaps, first, to be happy, we have the right to have the gender and the body that we want. Maybe that will be the first thing that we need to be happy. To have the gender and the body that we want. Because our own body, it's the most important thing. That's why, we, first, should have the gender and the body that we want. To achieve a happy and full life. Be obsessed with your wish. Be obsessed with what you want. Because when you become obsessed with something or someone, you are using all your energy and strength to achieve it, you are routing all of your energy and strength towards that goal. Because you are focusing and concentrating with all of your mind and all your heart to achieve it. And it is much more likely that you will achieve it and fast. Be obsessed with your wish. Be obsessed with everything that you want. We, ourselves, attract what we fear. What are problems? And how to fix them? The definition of problems: it's situation or challenge that is presented to us in our day-to-day. Situation or breakdown of any machine, device or thing that we use daily. Situation that causes us anguish, anxiety and concern. It is a situation, challenge or malfunction, which we have to solve and fix in order to feel calm. But there are problems to problems. Sometimes, we even look for problems and challenges, to overcome them, and to prove ourselves. Because overcoming problems and challenges is part of our human nature, it is part of our instinct. We all have problems. Everybody. Both the rich and the poor. But the nature and level of each problem are very different, but even for both poor and rich, the problems cause us great anguish and anxiety, but the level of the problems are very different. Example. A rich girl goes to a shopping mall, and she sees some very nice Gucci shoes, and then she goes into the store to buy them, since she has the money to buy them. But when she goes into the Gucci store and asks for them, the manager tells her that they don't have the size for her. And she feels extremely disappointed, and filled with anguish and despair, because she wanted so much, those shoes. Example 2. A poor girl is very anguished. Because her father, who is an alcoholic, came home with some drunk friends, and one of them tried to break the door of her room where she was, and tried to abuse her, while her dad fell asleep in the living room because of how drunk he was. One of his friends tried to abuse her. These two examples causes great and huge anguish and anxiety in both cases. In these two examples the level of stress, anxiety, anguish and fear, are the same. But of course there is a great difference between these two examples. But if you ask each one of them, you will realize that these two situations causes the same level of stress, anguish, sadness and despair on each one of them. Of course that in these two examples, the cause of the stress is very different, but even so, it causes the same level of stress, sadness, anguish and despair. But of course, these are two very different situations. But the problems causes in us a lot of stress. Because stress it's not having a real solution for a real problem or situation. What happens is that we focus too much on the problem, not on the solution. Everything has a solution. One way or another. Everything. Absolutely everything. We all have problems, both rich people and poor people, that causes a great anguish and anxiety on people. But a big difference is how the rich people and the poor people deals with these problems. Stress management between poor and rich people are very different. Stress management is something extremely important, because it will determine whether a people will be successful or poor. You have to learn to handle stress. Dramatic people tend to exaggerate problems, and they are the people who suffer the most from anxiety and illnesses. Rich people looks for the solution by any means necessary, asking for help from professionals until they solve the problem. But poor people do not know how to deal with the stress, and they look for ways like alcohol and violence to deal with the stress, and to forget for a while about their problems. Poor people look for a way to forget about the problems, instead of looking for the solution. They prefer to forget the problems, instead to face the problems and to solve them. They're cowards. But they don't really face the problems, nor do they look for the solutions. They spend their time blaming the government and the whole world for their problems, instead of looking for the solution. Problems torment us at night, when we cannot find a real solution, and they do not allow us to sleep or rest, which will affect us a lot, because we need to rest, to have the strength and a clearer mind, to find the solutions. Let me tell you that our mind tends to exaggerate situations that should not be exaggerated, and to minimize situations that are really important. The best way to find the solution to our problems, is to face the problem, with an objective, strong, clear and intelligent mind. And to seek the help from professionals to solve it. Accept your responsibility, and to not look for guiltiest. Analyze the alternatives and take the best, the one with the lowest cost and the one that is fastest. If you are going to face a person or situation, and if you do not feel confident about yourself, it is because you do not value yourself. It is because you think and feel about what you are not, instead of knowing who you are, and for the same reason you feel defeated even before facing the people and the situations. You have to feel confident about yourself, you have to value yourself and appreciate yourself, you must value what you have achieved and what you are capable of achieving. You have to be proud about yourself. You have to feel proud about yourself. You have to be very brave, courageous and very strong. Don't you care about the consequences? Brave people are those who highly value themselves. The more that you value yourself, the braver that you will be. Let your energy flows. Do not block your own energy. Let your energy flows. The less that you value and the less that you appreciate yourself, the more coward you will be. Face all of your problems, the people and all the situations. Do not care about the consequences. If you manage to buy or do something that cost you a lot of work, effort, suffering and sacrifices, do you think it is correct to say, "Thank God I was able to buy it. Thank God I got it." Or, "Thanks to me, that I was able to buy it, due to my effort, work and sacrifices. Thanks to me, that I was able to achieve it, due to my effort and work." Many people will say that we have to thank God for all the good things that we have, because they think that God gave us our life. But it's that truth. Because according to them, we have to thank God for the good things that we get by ourselves. Then we can also complain to God for the bad things that happen to us. God did not give us life, it was our parents. The powerful, marvelous and monumental force of life, creation, movement and transformation was the one that gave life to our parents, to us, and to God. Also, although gratitude is good, maybe we shouldn't be thankful for everything. Let's say that you are very hungry and that you want to eat a big steak with French fries, but you don't have the resources and the money, and the only thing that you can buy and eat, it's a small piece of bread. And even though that many people will tell you that you have to be thankful even for that, you don't feel satisfied and you don't feel grateful for something that you did not like. Don't settle. Always look for what you really want. Always. If you feel cheap and less than others, then people will treat you like trash and bad. Even if you are or not. But everything it's about how do you feel and see yourself. What it's the obsession. The definition of obsession it's State of the person who has in his mind an idea, a word, an objective, or a fixed or permanent image, and that it's dominated by that idea, word, objective or image. Idea, word, thing or image that is imposed in the mind of a person repetitively and independently of the will, in such a way that it cannot be easily repressed or avoided. Obsessions led us to focus and concentrate only on that objective, thing or person. Because our mind will only thinks and focuses on any way to achieve that objective, object or person. And it will makes us capable of everything, to achieve that in what we are obsessed with, in what we desire. And even though obsession seems bad, it is one of the fastest and most powerful ways to get everything that we want. No matter if it is a person, an objective or a thing. Since we use all the energy of our mind and our body, to get what we want. That's why. Be obsessed with your desire. Get obsessed with all that you want and desire. And so, you will get it faster. Get obsessed with the new house that you want so much. Obsessed with your new car. Be obsessed with the new iPhone that you desire so much. Get obsessed with that new job. Get obsessed with the person that you love and desire so much. Be obsessed with your wish. Get obsessed with what you want. Let's say that you go on vacation and when you are coming back it's raining and your car breaks down with your whole family inside. And you park on the shore and you get out in the rain and you take out the jack to lift the car and after 2 hours of great effort, you manage to fix your car and continue your trip. And when you get on in your car, wet, tired and even hurt, from having fixed it, someone from your family says, "Thank God that it's fixed. Thank God." But if God did not do anything to fix it, He did not send His angels or anything, it was you who with a lot of effort, strength and intelligence. You managed to fix your car. Even you hurt your hand, and get wet, to fix the car. Do you think that it's okay that after so much effort and suffering from yourself, that someone says it was because of God that the car was repaired? I don't think it's right to thank God for something that you achieved by yourself. Due to your effort and work. It is very important that you also thanks yourself for the achievements and successes that you have reached and achieved. That you appreciate and value yourself more. I don't know if God exists or not, but you owe your achievements to yourself, to your effort, to your sacrifices, your attitude and your intelligence. Many people will say that you have to thank God that He gave us the life and intelligence that we have, but I do not believe that this is true. Life was given to us by our parents, as well as intelligence and everything they taught us and what we ourselves have learned. What is it that we really have to thank God for? What? One of the things that Jesus hates the most is hypocritical people. As they say, "I like to practice what I preach." Be congruent with yourself. Do not allow that no one decides for you. Do not allow that nobody decide what you want or not. Do not allow that nobody decided your own future. But, why are you so angry with life? Value yourself. Appreciate yourself. Be proud of what you have achieved. Be proud of yourself. And then, you will achieve everything that you want. Everything. Absolutely everything. Every problem has a solution, one way or another. Everything. Absolutely everything has a solution. Everything. Love can heal absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. When someone wishes you happiness, it is exactly that you have many happiness in your life. A happiness would be to have a good cell phone. Another happiness would be to have a very beautiful house. Another happiness would be to have a good car or truck. Another happiness would be that you have a lot of money in your bank account. Another happiness would be that you have a good health. That is, may you have many happiness, that makes you feel full of joy and happiness. That they give you hope, peace and tranquility. You are vibrating what you are feeling. You are vibrating what you feel. If you feel sad, hopeless and distressed, that is what you are vibrating, and that is what you are transmitting to the universe, and that is what you are attracting to you. If you feel cheerful, happy, with hope, faith and the desire to get ahead and improve your whole life, that is what you are vibrating, and that is what you are transmitting to the universe, and that is what you are attracting to you. What you are feeling, it's what you are vibrating, and what you are vibrating, it's what you are transmitting to the universe and to others, and that's what you are attracting to your own life. The universe it's responding to the energy that you are transmitting. The universe it's responding to the energy that you are generating. The universe it's always listening. You don't know what you're looking for until you find it. No one knows what they really wants until you find it. Everything has a reason. Everything has a why. Everything has a because. Everything has a consequence, both bad or good. Absolutely everything. Why do you have so many problems and bad luck every day? The problem is that in your day you have 5 good thoughts, but 300 bad thoughts. In your day you have 5 good thoughts of wealth, richness, success, happiness and joy. But you have 309 bad thoughts of poverty, problems, lacks, envy, powerless, anguish and despair. The problem is that you have a good attitude for 5 minutes, but a bad attitude most of your day by day. You are afraid of too many things. And that you have so little faith and hope. You fear too much. And you have so very few hope and faith. And that is why you are attracting bad things into your life. Have a lot of good thoughts, and a good attitude of faith, hope and joy, most of your day. And you will see immediate results. Don't be so afraid. Don't fear too much. Money does not depend on your work. The money depends on your ideas. Success and money do not depend on your hard work. Success and money depends on your ideas. Success and money do not depend that much on your hands. Success and money depend on your mind. People are good or bad since birth. This is a very deep and difficult question to understand. Of course that we have all seen, people commit acts of such violence and cruelty against other living creatures, which make us think in how it is possible that someone is capable of committing such horrible, violent and cruel acts. I cannot generalize, because there are people who are good, that are the majority. And science has discovered that there is indeed a gene or something in the DNA on some people, that does make them bad. But in fact, we are all born bad. Our survival instinct makes that a baby can take away his bottle or food from another. And that same instinct can make us commit violent acts to defend our life, of our family, our food and possessions, even since children. We have all known of violent acts committed by children to defend their parents or brothers or themselves, and when you ask these children why they did it, they do not know why, which shows that they did it because of our instinct of survival, and these acts are also caused, when there is no corresponding authority that defends people, their families and their properties, and punishes bad people and the criminals. Or when the authorities are corrupted by crime, and that they are part of those criminal groups. And that's when the only way to defend ourselves, it's through justice by our own hand. It is when justice and vengeance become the same. But likewise, we have seen and heard of people who, even though they are good, have committed acts of violence and extreme cruelty to defend their children and their families. In the same way, there are people whose essence and nature may be good, but the circumstances, the environment and the area in which they are born and grow, it's full of violence, poverty, hate and injustice, which can force them to become bad, to accept and adopt the beliefs that only through violence and evil, they can survive and get ahead. As in war zones or ethnic violence, extreme poverty, areas where drug trafficking predominates, etc. This is why it seems that we are all born with certain genes that make us react in a very cruel, violent and aggressive way, if any person dear to us or ourselves, it's in danger or threatened by someone else. This means that we can all become very bad, cruel and violent, if circumstances force us to do so. But there are also people who all their life have suffered from physical and psychological abuse, which is stronger than physical. And because of this, they do not feel the slightest empathy for other people or living beings. They are full of hate and resentment, and that is why they release that hate towards other people and living beings. But on the contrary, there are people who have born with a good essence, like this example. Let's say that in a town one of the ancestors of the place hates some animal like seals or puppies, then he, through several generations, has transmitted that hate from generation to generation. And children are taught since childhood that they should hit and kill them, but when one of those children is ready to do it, because of the teachings and imposition of these stupid practices and beliefs, when he's up front and with a stick, ready to do it. Maybe his mind knows he has to do it, because he's been teach and raised that way, but in his heart and soul, he feels that it's not right, and he let go of the stick and doesn't do it. That means that his essence and nature are good. That he feels empathy and respect for the life of others. Even though they have been taught and imposed otherwise. He will not do it. For this reason, you have to analyze all of your beliefs, and see if they are really good or not, if they make you feel good or not. And eliminate and change those beliefs that do not make you feel good. You have to understand that not because 8,000 million people believe that something it's right. It is. You have to create your own way of thinking. In summary, we are all born with the survival instinct, which makes us all capable of committing acts of extreme violence, cruelty and hate. But most of the people are born good. But that there are people and animals who are born bad, who enjoy making others suffer, and who do not have the slightest empathy or respect for the lives of others. Undoubtedly, the area, the circumstances and the people with which a person develops, have a huge influence. People who are born bad, perhaps have that hate and resentment dragging from many past lives. Hate and resentment are caused by extreme situations of abuse, violence, mistreatment and physical and psychological damage, which generates an enormous hate and resentment, due to the impotence and pain that these acts generates in the people and animals that suffer them. And perhaps this is the cause of their acts, but it is not a valid justification. Hate it's synonymous of revenge. Revenge it's synonymous of violence. But although you cannot generalize, most of the people are good, the great majority of us, we want to live a good life in peace. Most of us go out to work every day, to seek a better future for ourselves and our families. There are less bad people than good people. But in itself, all men and women are born bad. What happens it's that the majority of us adopts the good teachings and good values that are instilled and taught to us, such as not stealing, helping other people, behave well, respecting our parents, etc. Since we feel better behaving in that way. But we are all born bad and with the possibility of doing cruel and violent acts against people that can harm us and our families. But without a doubt there are very bad people who have committed such horrible, terrible acts of cruelty, murders and terrible things, which will never change, they will never reform, because they do not want to. Those people do not deserve to live. In truth there are bad people, who have a spirit and soul full of evil, who have been dragging for many lives. As the Bible says, and the murderer and the rapist you will kill, and you will eliminate the evil and the murderer. So that you eliminate evil from among my people. But never underestimate the power of evil. Good does not always win. It's their goodness on every people. No, there isn't goodness in everyone, not everyone it's good. Do not be fooled, not all people are good. Not all women's or man are good. There are very bad people who will never change. There are very bad people who doesn't want to change. There are bad people who like to be like that they enjoy hurting other living creatures, and they do not want to change. Courage and love are some of the most powerful forces that exist in the entire universe. In summary, we are all born bad, but the vast majority of us adopt good habits, good values and the good teachings. People who do not appreciate and value their own life will never respect the life of others. Perhaps that is the original sin with which we are born, according to the Christian and Catholic religions. Do not let that the fear control you. Do not let that the fear take you down. Do not let that fear kills your dreams. Do not allow that fear dominates you. Do not let that fear overtake you. Eliminate your fears. Eliminate all your fears. Be strong, brave and intelligent. Always and everywhere. And with whoever that you are with. Do not let yourself be infected by laziness, by weakness, by conformism, by poverty and by the filth from others. Don't let yourself be infected. You have to be perfect and extraordinary. We live in a universe that has laws that govern our lives, that, although we do not understand them, do not accept them, or do not like them, they govern our lives. Such as the law of gravity, the law of vibration, the law of cause and effect, the law of relativity and many more. But there are laws that have been created to help us achieve everything that we want. like the law of attraction. But the law that has the most influence in our lives is the law of cause and effect. Love attracts more love. Hate attracts more hate. Violence attracts more violence. Despair attracts more despair. Poverty attracts more poverty. Sadness attracts more sadness. Happiness attracts more happiness. Joy attracts more joy. Money attracts more money. Wealth attracts more wealth. Abundance attracts more abundance. Success attracts more success. The best example of the law of cause and effect is love, because when you give unconditional and pure love to someone, you will undoubtedly receive more love than you have given. When you help someone or a little animal or a tree or nature, then you have the right to request and receive a reward from the universe. Because that is the law of cause and effect. If you have money and you give some money to a poor person, it will really don't make you poorer or richer. But it will certainly make you a better person. Do it like this. I am so happy and satisfied, for the $1 million that I have in my bank account, because I can buy almost everything that I want, and I can help my family. I'm so happy and grateful for the $1 million that I have in my bank account. Because when you ask for something, even in yourself, you are not sure that it will come to you or that it will manifest it to you. But when you demand an order, then you are more sure that it will come to you. Demand, do not ask. Demand respectfully. But do not ask for it. The fastest way to attract everything that you want is through your attitude. Because an attitude of success attracts very powerful forces and energies. If you think that a person is bad, then you will attract that exact bad attitude from that person to you, even if that person is good. But if you think that a person is good, then you will attract that exact good attitude from that person to you, even if that person is bad. Did you know that one of the strongest and happiest feelings is to receive a clinical analysis with a negative result of cancer? Law of assumption. This law refers to the fact that you must assume that you already have everything that you always want, through auto-suggestions. You have to assume that you already have everything that you want. Because everything starts from our wonderful and powerful brain. When you use the law of assumption instead of the law of attraction, then you will receive everything that you want, faster. Because you are assuming that you already have everything that you want, even if that it's not true, yet. This is through auto-suggestion, auto-hypnosis. You have to convince yourself totally and absolutely, that what you desire so much, it's already real, and that you already have it. You have to spend a lot of time and energy visualizing it. You must whisper to yourself what you want. Like a sigh. Why do we have to live and accept our reality? Why can't we live like in our dreams, where we are who we want it to be, and we have everything that we want? When you command the universe, you are sending specific data about what it's exactly that you want. The energy and the time that you dedicate to your desire will manifest it faster. Be grateful for what you already have. And be thankful for what you are going to receive. Always think. I always get what I want. I do not know how, but I always get what I want. When you assume, you are sure. When you assume, you are skipping your doubts, fears and disbeliefs. Assuming it's like when you want something. You say please, with the hope that it will get to you. But when you say thank you, instead of please, then you are assuming that you already have it. The thought that you repeat the most, it's the manifestation that you are going to receive first. Consciously or unconsciously. You want it or not. Don't say or think. I don't want to be poor. I do not want to suffer. I don't want to lose my job. Because the universe only listens to this. Poverty. Suffering. Anguish, lack, unemployment and despair. Don't say either. I want to be rich. I want to be happy. I want to win and succeed. Because the universe really doesn't care if you say I wish it or I don't wish it, I want it or I don't want it. Just by thinking about it you are attracting it. That's why just think, concentrate and focus on these feelings. Luxury, profit, abundance, prosperity, opulence, joy, happiness, wealth, money, freedom, peace and security. Because that's only what the universe really hears. The relationship between you and the universe is personal. Do not divert your attention. Do not think about others, only about the universe and yourself. Believe. To be and to have. Believe. I think that something wonderful it's going to happen to me today. I believe that something wonderful it's going to happen to me today. I am sure that something wonderful it's going to happen to me today. I feel that something wonderful it's going to happen to me today. I'm sure that something wonderful it's going to happen to me today. Believe. Today is going to be the best day of my life. The only person that you have to trust all of your life it's you, yourself. Because the only real possession that we have, it's our body, our mind, our heart, ourselves, our own body, our own mind, our own heart, ourselves. That's why it's so important that you first accept yourself, respect yourself, take care of yourself, love yourself, trust yourself. Because only with yourself are going to be all of your life. Do not betray yourself. If you don't want to forgive, then don't forgive. But what is the being? It is every creature that has a life, a body, a soul, a brain, and a heart. It is an individual and unique being that has the ability to move, grow, communicate, and that has the ability to realize who, or what it is. Of having the consciousness of knowing that he is alive. We are all unique and individual beings, even if we live in a society or a community, we are divine, individual, unique and special beings. And each one of us must develop our essence and our gifts, aptitudes and talents. The good and the bad vibes are the energy that we, and others generates and transmit. When you feel bad vibes from others, it is because those people have bad thoughts and feelings, and that generates that energy and vibrations, and that energy it's transmitting from their bodies, from their mind and heart. And that we perceive it. It is something that we cannot explain, but that we feel all the time, when we are close to another person or a group of people. Likewise, when we feel and receive good vibes, it is because that person has good thoughts and feelings, and that is the energy that he is transmitting from his own body, to everyone, and that we receive that energy trough their vibrations. Likewise, we emit energy from ourselves to others, based on our thoughts and feelings. This means that if we feel happy, joyful with hope and faith, then we are generating and transmitting that energy to others. That's the good and the bad vibes. The vibration of our mind and heart, the energy that we generated and transmit. This is extrasensory energy, or our sixth sense, which of course does exist. And the proof and evidence it's when you are somewhere, and you feel that someone is looking at you, and you turn around and that's right, someone it's looking at you. But how did you know this, if you had not seen it? But you felt it, and this is because of the extrasensory energy that they were using and that we all have, our sixth sense and intuition. And we must pay much more attention to our sixth sense, intuition and premonitions. We have to listen and obey, our sixth sense, our intuition and premonitions. If you feel that something it's not right, then, don't do it. If you feel that something it's right, even despite what it seems, then do it. Listen to your intuition and premonitions. The wonderful, powerful and limitless human mind, human genius and human intelligence, it's so powerful, great and wonderful. And it is only comparable with the human stupidity. What is the essence? The essence or nature it's what we are, since we are born. The definition of essence is the unique set of permanent and invariable characteristics that determine a being. It is as if our essence was on the high part of our back, between our shoulders. But is our essence invariable? It cannot be changed. Have you ever thought that there are people or perhaps ourselves, that even if we have planned something very well, it turns out badly? And that there are people to whom everything that they do, even if they have good attitudes, knowledge and aptitudes, that everything they do goes wrong. But why? Could it be that its essence or nature is to lose and fail? Will this be true? Likewise, there are people that everything that they do turns out well, even if they never planned it. Could it be that its essence is to win and always succeed? Is it possible to change our essence and nature? Could it be that, before we were born, our essence and nature it's imposed on us, and that our whole life we do not accept it and try to change it? But, that it's impossible to change it. That to be happy, we have to accept our essence and live with it. No matter what it is. Will this be true? And still, how to know what is our essence, and how to change it? I believe that our essence and nature can be changed. But that we have to do it from ourselves, from within ourselves, first. If your essence it's to be submissive and to lose and to always failed. That you have to change it from within yourself. You have to reprogram your subconscious and your mind. Through auto-suggestion, through auto-hypnosis and acceptance and meditation. But first, we have to identify our essence. Do not let that other people in the society controls you. Society will always try to make you feel bad and controls you. Always. I'm sure that have you felt very happy and excited about something. And I know that many people don't like that you feel that way, and they have tried to make you feel bad and sad like them, and you changed your happy feelings to feel bad like them, to be accepted by the others. You stopped being extraordinary, to be ordinary like the others, just to be accepted. That's something very stupid. Never change your way of being, and thinking, just to be accepted by others. Never. I don't know why society always tries to control us. Many people look constantly and are obsessed for the approval of others. Many people are obsessed to have that approval of others. And they are capable of quitting their dreams and to change their way of being. Only to be accepted by society and others. But why? Why be ordinary? If you can be extraordinary. Why it's so important to you, to be approved and accepted by others? Why? What does the society and other persons gives to you? What? And they leave their dreams and their potential, just to be equal to others. To be ordinary. Only to be accepted by them. But this doesn't have to be like this. Think about, what does the society really gives to you? What? Why stop being extraordinary, to be ordinary like the rest? Never give up your dreams and your potential, just to be accepted by others. You need to be extraordinary. Always. Don't stop being extraordinary, to be ordinary like the others. You have to be extraordinary. Always. And everywhere. And with whoever you are with. Do not allow that the society controls you, and limits your potential and your dreams. Do not let that anyone tells you what you can, or cannot do. What are you capable of, or not? Don't let that anyone limits you. Always have a rebel mind, don't let that the others controls you. Or that they tell you what to do. Do not allow that nobody tells you what are your limits. Never. Don't be part of the system. You have to be more than the system. You have to be above the system. You must break those chains. We have to break the barrier between poverty and wealth. We have to break the barrier between I can't do it. 2. I've already have achieved it. You have to believe that. Yes, you can do everything that you want. Absolutely everything. Everything. You have to know that. Yes, you can do absolutely everything that you want. Everything. Absolutely everything. You have to think that. Yes, it's possible to improve your current situation. Because it's totally and absolutely possible. It is. Believe. The difference between imagining and visualizing is that when you are visualizing, you are feeling the feelings and emotions of that event. Consciously and unconsciously. Do not use the words never and always, because those words are very unbelievable. Never change the way that you are. Never. Just to be accepted by others and the society. Never. You have to be extraordinary. Always and everywhere. And with whoever you are with. Been divine it's to have the full control of our own body and all the things and persons that surrounds us. What is the soul? I feel that our soul is a set of atoms that are united among themselves. That they have memory of what, or who, we have been from the beginning of time. And that this union of our atoms is currently connected to the body and the mind that we have at this moment. And that our soul is aware of our current body and mind. But that our soul is eternal, and has existed since the beginning of everything. that our soul was formed millions of years ago. And if our soul is strong, then it will continue eternally in another body and in another life. We should not be afraid of death. Because death it's just one more step in our eternal life. Because even if our body is fragile and mortal, our soul will continue forever. Forever. But why is our soul not aware? Why we can't remember what, or who we were before? Why we cannot keep learning from all of our past lives? Why? Why do we always have to start over, every time? Every time that our soul is in a new body. Perhaps it is because our soul has to learn. That is why we do not remember at all, our previous lives. Why do we have to learn again? Why do we have to start over, every time that we have a new body? Why? And this is because at some point, we have chosen it that way. Because you have not always reincarnated as a human, not even on this planet. We have had thousands of forms and in thousands of worlds. Perhaps we have to transfer our consciousness to our soul. Perhaps what we wish to achieve it's an eternal consciousness. Perhaps our soul was perfect and pure. But living in this planet has made it impure and unclean. Our soul was perfect, but being alive impregnated with the essence of our body and our life. And that's why, our soul becomes impure and ceases to be perfect and pure, due to the reality of this life. Due to the mundane of this life and this world. Since no human being is perfect. Not one. We all make mistakes, but perhaps it is not because we are bad, perhaps it is because we do not have a guide or someone to guide us and to teach us. We do not have a guidance. There is nobody to teach us. And we must also have to define, what is the perfection? What is the perfect being? Will it be the one who never makes mistakes? But if we don't make mistakes, then how do we learn? We have to define what perfection is. Perhaps perfection it's not making mistakes, but making mistakes, and overcoming them, learning from them, overcoming the problems that this life has. Maybe perfection it's to overcome all the problems. We believe that the divine beings are perfect beings who have never made errors. But I do not believe that. Because neither the divine beings, nor God, are perfect. This life is undoubtedly full of problems, injustice, inequity and bad people that affect us. Being a perfect being, it's not by treating all humans well. Because without a doubt there are very bad people, who enjoy doing evil to others, and it is also part of life, to defend ourselves and our families, and to punish all the people who treat us badly and who they do evil things to us, and our families. But, maybe we, can be perfect. Maybe life can be perfect. The mundane can be divine. Divine beings are not perfect. Perhaps perfection it's not making mistakes, perhaps perfection it's learning from our mistakes and overcoming them. Perhaps the perfection it's not treating and allowing other people to hurt us and our families. Perhaps perfection it's to defend ourselves and punish the bad people who try to harm us. God it's not perfect. Don't trust God. Never trust God. Never. Perhaps perfection it's not making mistakes, but that our good actions are bigger than our mistakes. May our good actions be much greater than our errors. May our mind and heart, may our thoughts and feelings, be much greater than our errors and the mundane of the others. Perhaps perfection it's that our soul, mind and heart are strong. And that we do not allow ourselves to be intimidated or convinced by the inferior, weak, dirty and banal minds of others. May our thoughts, ideas and feelings, be stronger and better than those of others. Perfection it's to be better than the others. Perfection is, to be better than the rest. Perfection it's, to be better than all. To be better than filthy people. Perfection it's having a strong soul, a strong mind and a strong heart. And to be better than the others. Perfection it's feeling and knowing, that we are better than others. That our mind is stronger and better than others, that we are not intimidated by others, by those inferior, dirty and weak minds. Even though they are many more. But even so, they do not affect our ideas and our beliefs. Even though they are millions more than us. Even so, they do not intimidate us or make us change, since they are dirty and full of failures. Perfection is loving, respecting, taking care of and admiring ourselves, our ideas and thoughts, our feelings, our deeds, our actions and our words. Perhaps the perfection of the imperfection, it's divine. Perhaps the human and the imperfect are divine. Perhaps the imperfection of the human being, it's divine. Perhaps the perfection of the imperfection, it's divine. Perhaps being alive, it's perfection. Perfect, it's what I have to say about the work of the sun. Perfection, it's what I have to say about the work of the sun. Do not allow to be contagious by filthy people. When you understand and accept that the soul of a human is neither better nor more important than that the soul of an animal. That the soul of an animal, it's just as important as the soul of a human. And that we have to respect them and take care of them. Then your soul will be free. The entire universe, it's always in movement and in transformation. Including ourselves. What are moments and momentums? The definition of moments is a part, a breach, a section, a lapse, a segment on time. And specific segment of time in our lives, and in the entire universe. Life, it's make of moments, of momentums. Every one of us has good and bad moments. But I know that depending on the social class that you have, that depends on the number of good and bad moments. I will say that are 4 social classes, and depending of that, it's the number of good and bad moments. Extreme poverty. On this social class, without doubt, the number of bad moments overpasses by much the good moments, because the people who lives in extreme poverty suffers too much of poverty, lacks hunger, violence, mistreatment, hard work and the lack of almost everything. The good moments that they have are too few. Because they can't even sleep well. In this level, the bad moments overpasses by much of the good moments. Because they doesn't even have a home to get. Unfortunately, there are millions of people who doesn't even have a house. That they live in boxes or even in caves, full of insects and animals. That they don't even have a bed, and a blanket for the intense cold. That they can't even sleep well at night, because they have to be alert of insects, and bad people who tries to steal them. They live in terrible situations. Millions of people lives in war zones, and they suffer of violence and fear, all day and all night. They can't buy even something to eat. And for millions of people, they live in zones, where there is no food or something to eat. And even so, they are the ones who have the most sons and daughters. And this, it's something terrible, that they have so many sons and daughters. Even knowing of their terrible situation, they have so many sons and daughters. It should be a crime to bring them only to suffer. But this can be understandable, because as they really don't have any good moments on their day to day. They look in sexual relations, a way to feel better. But they obviously do not use anything to avoid having children's. But even so, they should not have any children's. That's a selfish and a cruel act, to bring children's, if they know of the terrible situation that they have. To have more children's only to suffer. The people who lives on this level of extreme poverty almost never have a single good moment. The amount of bad moments are extremely high. They are not happy. Think about them. Every time that you complain. Poverty. On this social class, people suffers of poverty, violence, mistreatment, hard work and lack of opportunities. But they have a house and they can eat well, and buy some things. Their good moments are so few. On this level, people has a big number of sons and daughters. Because they have more bad moments than good moments. Medium social class. On this level, people have a good job and they don't suffers too much of hunger or lacks. On this level, people have access to education and training, which helps them to improve their jobs and the opportunity to improve themselves and their families. On this level, people doesn't really wants to have children's, they prefer the life that they have, without having responsibilities. And I don't understand why. It's something so absurd and stupid, that the poor people, the people who can provide good things to their sons and daughters, are the ones who has more children's. And the middle class and wealthy people, who are the ones that can provide a good life to their sons and daughters, are the ones who doesn't really wants to have sons and daughters. This it's so absurd. On this case, medium class people has the same amount of good moments that bad moments. The rich and wealthy also have bad moments. But yes, I know that they have some few bad moments, and a lot more of good moments than bad moments. And yes, I know that poor people have a lot more bad moments than good moments. Because we suffer too much of hunger, mistreatment, lacks, poverty, and a lot of bad moments. We have a lot more bad moments than good moments. And I can't understand why. But even so, we need to learn how to identify and treasure those good moments. Yes, I know that there are millions of people who suffers too much. But you have to know what's your situation. On which level are you? Don't exaggerate your current situation. Don't be dramatic. Don't be so dramatic. Don't overthink too much. Learn to recognize the good moments, the good momentums that you have. And treasure them. It's true that we humans measure our happiness through our sorrows and sadness. This means that the most that you suffer, the most that you can be happy. Be grateful and thankful. And you will receive a lot more. The happy people knows how to recognize and treasure those good moments. Let's say that the rich and wealthy people change their iPhones every time that a new one is available. They just buy the new iPhone 15 Pro Max, and they say like, okay, I have the new iPhone. They feel satisfied, but not very happy. But let's say that for the people on poverty, extreme poverty and middle class. If they can have that same iPhone 15 Pro Max, they will have an extreme level of joy, happiness and satisfaction. The level of joy and happiness that they will feel would be extremely high. They will feel like a 100 times more happy to have the new iPhone 15 Pro Max than the rich and wealthy people. Let's say that in a rich and wealthy family, the son asks his mother what they are going to have for dinner. And his mother tell him that they are going to have T-bone with French fries, a salad and chocolate cake for dessert. And the son says to his mother, "We are going to eat a T-bone again. I am tired and jaded of eating T-bone, French fries, a salad and chocolate cake." But let's say in a poor and middle class family, the mom tells them that she makes steaks with French fries for dinner. This will cause in their family an extreme feeling of joy, happiness and satisfaction. And they will feel like a 100 times more happy than the rich and wealthy people. Let's say that in a rich and wealthy family, the father tells the family that they are going to go on vacation to Europe, UK, Spain, Switzerland and Italy, for 1 month, on the best hotels. But let's say that their sons and daughters tell to their father, "Are we going again to Europe? Again? I don't want to go. It's too much time, and I don't want to go again to Europe, and you are not going to force me to go to Europe on vacations." But let's say that in a poor and middle class family, the father gets a loan that he will pay like in 5 years. And he gets home with a lot of joy, and tell his sons and daughters that they are going on vacation to the beach for 5 days. That they will not are going to stay on the best hotel, but that they will go to a nice hotel for 5 days. This will cause on his family an extreme feeling of joy, happiness and excitement. Maybe like 100 times more than the wealthy and rich family. And there are hundreds of examples that I can give you. But what do this means? That maybe, that we can be happy, not matter the social class that we are. That we measure our happiness through our sadness and our lacks. In the case of the wealthiest and rich families, they are so used to good things that they're not appreciated them. But in the case of the poor and middle class families, we have so much shortages, lacks, and so many bad moments, that when we receive something good, it makes us feel extremely happy and joyful. Because we are not used to have good things, and that makes us capable to identify, recognize and appreciate a lot the few good moments that we have. Maybe the objective of life is to be happy. And the feelings that the poor and middle class people feel when they receive good things, it could be like 100 times more powerful than the feelings and happiness of the wealthiest and rich people. So, it could be that maybe poor and middle class people could be happier than the rich people. But anyway, you can be very happy, but you have to be aware, recognize, seize and treasure the good moments that you have. Enjoy them, don't think about bad things. It's like the ideology of the camel. Camels live in the hardest and harsh zones of the planet. That's why, when they find water, they fill their humps with water, because they don't know when they are going to find water again. This means that enjoy the good moments that you have, seize them, treasure them, don't think about bad things. Because you don't know when you will have some good moments again. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy that momentum. Because believe it or not, there are rich and wealthy people who doesn't feel happy. If you want to be happy, then you need to appreciate what you already have. Unfortunately, there are people who lives in extreme poverty, that they do not have even a house or something to eat. That they suffer too much. All the time. You have to be realistic and don't be dramatic. Unfortunately, there are not 1 or 2 or 10, there are millions of people who lives in extreme poverty. And you should take this like a counterweight when you feel bad, sad and desperate. For you to know where you are standing. You need to be sincere and realistic about your current situation. You have to be fair to yourself. You have to be truthful to yourself. You have to be realistic. Don't be dramatic. Don't be so dramatic. Stop the drama. Our minds tends to exaggerate. You have to be thankful and grateful for what you have. You need to know what you already have. You need to appreciate what you already have. Yes, always look for more. But first, be aware, appreciate and thanks for what you already have. Thanks to the universe, to God, to yourself, or whoever that you want. But be thankful. Be grateful to yourself, to God, to the universe, or to whoever you want. But be grateful. But even so, on the social class that you are, even so, you can be happy. You need to recognize and treasure the good moments that you have. Happy people are the ones who know how to recognize, seize, and treasure those good momentums. Even if you are poor or not. Even so. Recognize, seize, appreciate and treasure the good moments that you have. Even in the most terrible situations. There are good moments. Even so. Recognize, seize, appreciate and treasure the good moments that you have. The rose that blooms in the most adverse and terrible situation. It's the most beautiful of all. Be thankful and grateful. Who dares to decide for me? Who dares to decide what I like or not? Who dares? Who? Life it's not unfair or bad. Life it's not hard and harsh. It's our way of living, what have make life so unfair and harsh. This consumist and materialist society, it's the one who has make life so unfair. This society, so full of avarice and greed. This selfish society. This society who doesn't forgive. It's the one who has make life so harsh and unfair. It's the society who has made life harsh and unfair. Life it's so harsh and unfair, like never before in history. Because truly life it's wonderful. Because life it's really a miracle. See all the good things you have.